President Buhari charges African leaders to ensure peace and development in the region. Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu orders withdrawal of suit against judicial panels across the country. And Abdurrashid Maina to stay in Kujai prisons till the end of his trial. Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Fola Shade for Burundi. Now, President Muhammad Buhari has called on African leaders to work hard to ensure a peaceful continent, as an unstable region is a grave challenge to the people. The president made a call while receiving the president of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, at State House in Abuja. President Buhari said development is usually the first casualty in an unstable polity. He said the best route to national development is stability, and when a country is not stable, most of the financial resources is spent on security. President Buhari congratulated President Barrow for stabilizing the Gambia. President Barrow also appreciated his host for the role Nigeria played in helping his country return to the path of constitutional democracy.
I came to power after 22 years of dictatorship. When I say dictatorship, everybody knows what it means. I think there were a lot of challenges. When I came, our economy was bad, not even bad. I think it was the worst situation. When I came, we were less than 1 month import core in Gambia. Our debt to GDP was 120% when I came to power. So it was in a very serious situation. It was like we have a mountain to climb. But let me just update you. Today, we are up to 5 months import cover in Gambia. Our debt to GDP is 80%. Our growth, before it used to be 1% to 2%. Today, our growth is about 6.5%. And I was able to increase salaries 50%.
You need to work on your
pensions 100% within this sub-period.
Lot of noise.
Infrastructure. During the 50 years, they were able to do 800 kilometers tar road. In 4 years, I'm doing 600.
I can hear you now.
Bridges, they were able to build 750 meters. I am doing 2,500 meters in 4 years. So we were able to do a lot within the period. But the institutions were not strong. That's why we are engaged in reforms. It's not even reforms, I can say it is a complete overhaul of the system, because the system was polluted. But today, we are building strong institutions.
The Nigeria Police Force has applied to withdraw its suit, praying for an order stopping the various states' judicial panels of inquiry probing allegations of rights abuses and other acts of brutality of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS). The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, on Thursday ordered the immediate withdrawal of the suit and vowed to investigate the officers responsible. The suit, instituted on behalf of the police, is querying the powers of the judicial panels set up across the state to investigate human rights abuses against members of the defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS). The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it would provide a level playing ground for all parties on Saturday as the people of Lagos East Senatorial Zone and Kosofe State constituencies to warm up to go to the polls. TV360's Oyin Adekule was at the media briefing by the Electoral Empire on Friday and filing this report.
It is a much anticipated by-election in Lagos State. Electorates are hoping to fill the Lagos East Senatorial seat and Kosofe Constituency 2 in the House of Assembly, which became vacant following the death of Adebayo Shinowo and Sunday Braimo. At this media briefing, INEC is facing a huge task as the election is the first to hold under the context of the COVID-19 pandemic in Lagos. What is INEC going to do differently to ensure the success of this exercise?
We are going to conduct these elections under the COVID-19 pandemic guidelines. As you have always heard, there will be social distancing, and we will expect each and every one of us to wear our face masks for those who are going to vote during the elections. There will be 2 rings, the inner ring and the outer ring, for those who are going to be on the line. There are issues, legal issues, health issues, engagement with stakeholders that we have done to inform the populace on how to conduct themselves when they come out to vote.
The terrain of Lagos East, where the election will be conducted, is partly riverine, and INEC says adequate preparation has been made to cater for sensitive electoral materials.
So, we believe that the elections will be peaceful, and we have also put in a lot of slots to enlighten Nigerians, to encourage them to come out and take part in the election. We interacted with the various resident electoral commissioners in the state that the elections will be conducted tomorrow on the security situation in the state. And they were giving us information based on their interaction with the membership of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. And it was at the point when they got assurance that everything is in order.
On Saturday, December 5th, INEC will be conducting by-elections in Lagos, Imo, and Bayelsa states. Adekunle, TV360, Lagos.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Owerri, Imo State on Friday sacked Ifeanyi Ararome as the All Progressives Congress candidate for the Imo North by-election. The judgment, which was delivered by Justice Uchechukwu Onyememan, came barely 24 hours to the by-election in the 64 wards across the 6 local government areas. Justice Onyememan declared Frank Ibezim as the authentic candidate of the APC ahead of the election. He faulted the November 6th judgment of the Federal High Court, which sacked Ibezim and announced Ararome as the rightful winner of APC primary elections. Moving now to other stories, where former chairman of the defunct Pension Reform Task Force team, Abdurrashid Maina, will remain in prison till the end of his trial. Justice Okun Abang made the order following an application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's Prosecution Counsel, Mohammed Abubakar. Let's take a look at this report. It was his first day in court after his extradition from Niger Republic. Obviously, Maina is not expecting a pat on the back after jumping bail back in September. Expectedly, Justice Okun Abang, after listening to counsel to EFCC Mohammed Abubakar, ruled that Maina is to remain in Kuje prison till the end of his trial. Maina is being prosecuted by the EFCC on 2 billion naira money laundering charges before fleeing to Niger Republic.
Because he was arrested, should also tell that he will get justice. And you watch now and say that it's a change, because the youth have already woken us up.
Everything about this country is like a joke nowadays. Has Maina really been missing? No, he has not been missing.
I have not really seen what the government is doing about fighting corruption. That's the fact. So, but this one now may just go just the way it will just come in the air. Everybody will hear it. But for them to further prosecute the matter and then do justice, they won't do it.
The case was subsequently adjourned to December 8 for continuation of hearing. I'm joined now by Public Affairs Analyst Jide Ojo, who joins me via Skype from Abuja to look at this issue. Now, are you not surprised that Maina was caught by EFCC outside the country? It does show the determination, resilience and professionalism of our anti-graft agency, isn't it?
You may wish to say so, but facts on ground does not point to the fact that he was arrested by EFCC. I think he was arrested by Interpol. That's the international police. And, well, good news that he was arrested. Unfortunately, he has worsened his case because now his bail has been revoked. He will now be in detention in prison until when the trial is over. Aside from that, his jumping bail has actually as embarrassed Senator Ali Ndume, who stood shorty for him. He should have considered the stature of Ali Ndume before he jumped bail. Knowing full well that this man did what he did out of, brotherhood. That, okay, this is my brother, let me be there for him at the point of his needs. But now, for the past 6 sittings of the court, Mena has been nowhere to be found. The last time he attended to his case was in June. And the next adjourned date in September, he had already jumped bail. Now that bail has been revoked. The good news being that he was eventually caught by the international police and extradited back to Nigeria yesterday. So let's see how everything will eventually pan out. Because Mena has become a cat with 9 lives. Recall the controversy about his initial sneaking back into the country after he ran away, and then his reintegration into the Nigerian civil service. When he bolted initially, he was an assistant director. By the time he came back in 2017 or thereabouts, he was made director without sitting for any exams, and that's why one of those who responded in your Vox Pop said that nothing will happen. Because I recall very well the altercation between the then head of service, Oyo Ita, and the late Abba Kyari, the chief of staff to the president, over the issue of
you at this point now. But now that Mena is here in Nigeria, now do you foresee a successful execution of the case?
I foresee that now that he has sufficiently embarrassed those who were there for him, I think now he's going to be attending to his case from the prison. So, and I must give it to Justice Okonaba that he never shied away from being in control of the case. Even when Mana could not be found, he said he would be tried in absentia. So he was attending to that case even while Mana was away. Which then shows the seriousness of the judge. And of course, recall that all of this, what we just hoped eventually is that justice will not only be seen to have been served, justice will not only have been served, but will have been seen to be served. Because like I said, Mana seems to have very powerful people backing him up within the Nigerian political system.
Well, thank you very much, Jide Ojo, for lending your voice to this matter.
It's a pleasure. Have a nice weekend.
You too. And that's what's Public Affairs Analyst Jide Ojo speaking to us on the remand of Mena to Kuje prisons. Now move on to other stories where the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the alleged bribery case filed against Senate member Shehu Sani to January 27 over the prosecution's unpreparedness to play an audio recording it tendered in evidence. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC charged Sani with 2 counts of extortion and fraud. The FCC had on January 27 arraigned Sani for fraud involving the alleged extortion of $25,000 from a businessman, Sani Dauda. At the resumed hearing on Friday, the AFCC counsel Ekele Ihanacho told the court that he is ready to play the audio recording the prosecution obtained as evidence. However, arrangement was not made for the recording to be played to the entire court. The matter was then adjourned to enable the prosecution get everything ready to play the audio recording. Now move on to other stories where the Federal High Court in Lagos has granted permission to former Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, to embark on medical trip. Fayose has been tried for alleged 2.2 billion naira fraud. Justice C.J. INEC granted the permission following an application by Fayose's lawyer, Olanipekun. The application was not opposed by prosecuting counsel for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Rotimi Jacobs. The judge adjourned further hearing in the case to January 22, 2021. The EFCC is prosecuting Fayose alongside the firm Spotless Investment Limited for alleged 2.2 billion naira fraud. We'll take a break here, but still to come, ARC Air snacks 300 as workers continues protest. Welcome back. Now let's take a recap of some of our top stories. Nigeria police withdraw suits challenging the judicial panels set up across the state. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, gave the order on Friday. The IGP, who had earlier denied knowledge of the suits, said investigations on to determine the officer responsible for the suits. We also told you that former chairman of the defunct pension reform tax force team, Abdurrashid Maina, will remain in prison till the end of his trial. Justice Okun Abang gave the ruling on Friday when he appeared before the court, having jumped bail since September. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to COVID-19 updates and stories. The World Health Organization, WHO, is calling on leaders of nations to ensure that the distribution of COVID-19 vaccine is fair and equal for all citizens. WHO officials said it is important for leaders to invest in vaccine in the interest of the masses, and everyone must be carried along in fighting against the pandemic. He advocates for partnership between the people and government so that no one will be left behind as nations find it a lasting solution to the pandemic.
I would like to outline 4 key areas in which we need the leadership of nations as United Nations to end the pandemic and build the post-pandemic world. First, invest in vaccines to end the pandemic. With positive results in recent weeks from vaccine trials, the light at the end of the tunnel is growing steadily brighter. Although the path ahead remains treacherous, we can begin to glimpse the end of the pandemic. But let me be clear, we simply cannot accept a world in which the poor and marginalized are trampled by the rich and powerful in the stampede for vaccines. This is a global crisis, and the solutions must be shared equitably as global public goods, not as private commodities that widen inequalities and become yet another reason some people are left behind. We shouldn't leave anyone behind. This is true between countries and within countries. The task of narrowing inequalities does not start after the pandemic. It must be part and parcel of the response. If the world fails this test, what hope is there of living up to the scope and scale of the Sustainable Development Goals?
Nigeria has recorded more than 68,000 COVID-19 infections after recording the highest daily tally since late August, when 601 cases were recorded, according to an update from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. A total of 343 people tested positive for the disease on Thursday, taking the number of confirmed cases in the country to 68,303. The 343 new cases were recorded from 14 states, with the FCT recording 123 cases. Lagos had 106 cases, while Kaduna recorded 72 cases. 2 persons also died from the disease on Thursday, taking the total fatalities in Nigeria from COVID-19 to 1,173. To go for a short break and return with the latest in business and stock market review. Please stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Let's now join Mary Kano for the latest in business and stock market review.
Thank you, Fola Shade. The management of INEC Air has relieved 300 members of staff of their appointments. This was announced in a statement by the airline on Friday. The airline blamed the sack of the staff on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. A statement released by the management of INEC declared the 300 workers redundant. The company explained that a redundancy package would be provided for the affected workers with the help of the aviation unions. The company said due to the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the inability of the airline to complete heavy maintenance and huge operational costs, it can no longer afford to pay the workers. Meanwhile, the workers had been protesting for 2 days. We'll take a pause here and return with stock market review. Wrapping up a week that witnessed lots of bearish days, the Nigerian stock market ended on a bullish note with a 0.48% gain. That is 35,137 basis points. Now, this positive turn of events saw market capitalization close at 18 trillion naira with 100 billion naira gain. Now, despite the gains by the stock market, equities were somewhat negatively affected as the Nigerian stock market is currently unpredictable, and this saw 18 equities record losses against 13 gainers. Now, Airtel Africa, Mobile, Adova and Zenith Bank reigned supreme in today's trading, as these 4 equities were the top 4 gainers with a combined gain of 71 naira and 55 kobo. Now, there were gainers and there were losers also. Dangote Equity rather is quite struggling to keep their heads above water, as both Dangote Cement and Dangote Sugar were the top 2 losers of today with a 6 naira and 5 kobo loss, while Guarantee and UACN PLC rounded up the list of top 4 losers with 35 kobo and 15 kobo loss respectively. Now, today's market summary saw 292 million shares worth 4.285 billion naira exchange hands in 4,392 deals. Now, on the global scene, U.S. stocks soared to all-new time high as investors appeared to be betting and putting pressure on the outgoing Trump administration amidst Today, FTSE saw a 0.91% gain. Dow Jones also was on the high today with 0.51% gain, while Nikkei closed in the red today with a 0.22% loss. And that's all on Stock Market Review. Over to you, Folashade, for the rest of the news.
And thank you very much, Mary Kano, for letting us in on all we need to know on the latest in business and stock market review. Moving now to the foreign scene, where nearly 22 million people in the Democratic Republic of Congo are facing acute food insecurity, a dramatic rise from last year. This is according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. According to the FAO, the number of people facing acute food insecurity at crisis or worse levels has dramatically increased from 15.6 million in 2019 to 21.8 million in 2020. The organization says conflict and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which impacted food prices and livelihoods, worsened the problem, and also cities on economic decline linked to currently depreciating and drop in GDP growth and natural hazards such as flooding as contributing to the crisis. The FAO warns that with the acute hunger, any further disruption of food supply chains will only worsen human suffering and hamper efforts to address the problem. Up next is entertainment and weather.
Former Miss World Agbani Darego Danjuma has confirmed the birth of her second child with her husband Ishaya Danjuma. The proud mom shared the good news on her Instagram page, where she posted a symbolic picture to announce the arrival of a bundle of joy. Agbani, who already has a son with her husband, simply captioned the cheerful painting with a thankful "Congratulations are in order" for the ex-beauty queen and model. Popular singer Duncan Mighty has taken to his social media to raise the alarm that his wife and her family were conniving to poison him in order to take over his property. In a post on his Instagram page, the self-acclaimed Port Harcourt first son said his wife, Vivian, confessed that she connived with her mother and siblings to harm him. Duncan Mighty went on to reveal that his wife and members of her family took it further by consulting native doctors who directed them on what to do and how to do it. However, the singer's mother-in-law, Charity Nwakam, has come out to say the singer's allegations are false. Organizers of the Eddies Award have released the list of nominees for the 14th edition of the Music Awards. The award ceremony, which recognizes outstanding achievements in the Nigerian music industry, features 27 categories to acknowledge and celebrate the work of various artists and other professionals in the industry. Fireboy, Wizkid, Omale, Burna Boy, Mayokun, and a host of others will battle for the Viewer's Choice Award, while Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid, Mayokun, and Tiwa Savage will battle for the Artist of the Year Award. The Eddies will also be presenting an award of special recognition to King Sunny Ade for excellence and impact on the entertainment industry. That's all we have for you on the entertainment segment of News Now.
And that's it in our package of news now. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Ogrinde.